Hey guys, today we are doing a chit chat get ready with me video. This is the finished look here and I love how it turned out. I am going to be talking to you guys a little bit more and showing you the demo of these Sydney Grace eyeshadows here that are only $6 and they're amazing. So that's what I used on the eyes today. So yeah, if you want to see how I achieved this look here, which I think is perfect for springtime, just go ahead and keep watching. All right, so we're kind of in a new setup, so hopefully everything goes to plan with the lighting and the focusing. So anyway, I just used my Embryo Lisse Lick Cream Concentrate. I put that on my face, and now I'm going to go in and prime my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is like a moisturizer and primer in one, just to give myself more moisture because I need all the moisture. My skin is super dry. First things first, I guess, I did dye my eyebrows last night with the Just for Men in dark brown, so they're pretty dark, but overall I'm pretty happy with the results. For foundation, I'm going to be using these two mixed together. They're both by L'Oreal, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This one is in 202 and this one, the Fresh Wear, is in 400. So I just mix those together, and I actually am going to mix it on the back of my hand. That's how I've been liking to apply my foundation, is by, instead of dotting it on my face, I will just put it on my hand, or ideally like a mixing palette, but I don't have one here. And I'm just going to go in with this brush, is the one I've been loving to put this combination on with, the Sigma Round Top Kabuki F82. So I just kind of grab a little bit with that brush and then just start swiping it on. And I have really been loving this combination of foundation. I like them both on their own, but I like them even better together. The Fresh Wear is really good, but I think my skin is just a little too dry for it right now. I think it'll be perfect when it starts to warm up a little bit, if it ever does. So I'm just going to be putting this all over my face, and you can already see a difference right there. This combination is super natural looking. It's not full on coverage, but it does even out the skin really nicely. And it just makes the skin so pretty, and you can still see actual skin peeking through, which I like. This combination of foundation doesn't seem to accentuate my dry patches, which I have even after I exfoliate like crazy and moisturize. I still just seem to have dry patches. So excited to use those eyeshadows, the Sydney Grace eyeshadows. I mean, I've been using them off camera, but I'm so excited to share them with you. So if my skin does look a little dry, I like to just take the brush and lay it down like that, because the skin is kind of like shingles on a house. They're kind of like set on each other. So if you kind of buff and you're seeing a lot of texture and just kind of flaky skin, just take it and lay it like flat like that. Or like, you guys can see what I'm saying, I hope. So I just build this up a couple layers. And if I do see any brush marks or brush strokes, I will go in and just pat with my Beauty Blender. And the reason I don't just use the Beauty Blender first is just because it takes longer and it does shear out the coverage a little bit, but I do like to go and just kind of press it into my skin with the damp Beauty Blender. And this Beauty Blender is super damp, so it probably will shear out the coverage a little bit. Next, I'm going to be using my Prep and Prime Bright Forecast from MAC just to color correct my really darkness under here, or the darkest purpley colors. So I just take it right up in that tear duct area where it is very dark. And then this one I just like to pat in with my finger because it is pretty sheer of a coverage. I don't want to use the Beauty Blender because it will just kind of shear it out a little too much for me. And I'm not going to be using an actual eye primer today. I'm just going to be using the foundation and the concealer as an eye primer. That's how I've been doing it a lot lately. I just haven't needed to use an actual eye primer. So see how that kind of cancels and brightens a little bit before we go in with actual concealer. Oh, and you might notice that my eyebrows look really bald, or my eyelashes, I mean. And they are, because I don't have lash extensions anymore and I feel so naked. And then for concealer, I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear. It's actually the waterproof foundation, but I use it as concealer as the MAC artist told me to, or demoed on me. I talked about this more in one of my recent videos, my Friday favorites. So I just take this and dot, and I actually think I will be buying this full size of this foundation when I'm out of the concealer, or when I'm out of this sample pot, because as you will see, it works so flawlessly for concealer. I'm just gonna take that on my eyelid too and just press it in with that beauty blender. Next, I'm going to go in with my MAC Select Sheer Pressed in NC5, which is a super light color. And I'm taking it on this It Cosmetics powder brush. This actually comes in a trio, and I've really been loving the trio. So I will link that below. I'm just going to lightly, very lightly set everything. And I have gone without setting this combination with powder, and it does wear okay. It just kind of slides around a little bit before it actually sets. So I just like to, I don't mind to set it a little bit just so it doesn't slide. I'm gonna take that same powder on this like large fluff type brush and just set my eyes, get them all primed and ready to go for that eyeshadow. I'm gonna just kind of play around with my brows a little bit and see if we can't make the tone of that darkness just a little toned down and then kind of fill them in at the same time. So I'm gonna use my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think I need to move my mirror over here. I'm actually sitting at my vanity, so I have everything in front of me instead of having it all on a separate table. So I really hope this setup works. I hope the quality turns out good because I much prefer to do it like this. It's just a lot more organic as to like how I would actually do my makeup. Now I'm just going to take my Essence Make Me Brow eyebrow gel and just kind of set those in place and oops, fluff them up a little bit. I like a little bit more of a feathery brow look. Having those eyebrows dyed though really cuts down the time it took me to fill in my brows. That's really nice. Okay, so now we are getting into the eyeshadows. This is my collection here of the Sydney Grace eyeshadow. So pretty much mostly neutrals, but very beautiful. And I just have been loving these so much. So I'm gonna go in with this one here as a transition color. This is called Iced Mocha. And I'm just taking it on my MAC 217. I know that. I tell you what though, one thing about not having eyelash extensions, you can really do a better job at your eyeshadow because they were so long before I almost had to like go from the top down to blend, and I'm just not used to that. So that's one perk to not having them anymore, even though I just love them so much. They just made me feel like $1,000,000. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in a little bit here. So what I like to do is just go ahead and take it and stamp it right down there, and then I will start working the product that is left on the brush. I will start working it up into that transition area. In circular motions, switching back and forth between circular motions like that. It's about light, about medium pressure, and then windshield wiper motions like that. And so as I'm getting older, my eyes are getting more hooded, this part here. So I like to look kind of straight into the mirror or straight into the camera to give you guys a little show of how I do it. So I like to make sure my eyes are open and make sure you can kind of still see a little bit of a halo of that transition color, and just make sure it's even on both sides. And that is going to be like the most flattering look, because when you open your eyes, if you open your eyes and you can't see your shadow, then what's the point of having that transition color? So for me, I take it up a little bit higher, pretty close to the brow bone, just underneath the brow bone. And then I don't worry about the outer part. I will clean that up later. And then I just like to go in with a brush that's kind of fluffy. This is the E35 by Sigma with nothing on it. I mean, it is dirty, but there's no additional product. And just take that in light pressure, blend out the perimeter of that color just to soften it. Speaking about the Sydney Grace eyeshadows, I mean, there's not really any bad thing to say. I love them. My favorites are the pressed, I think they're called the pressed pigments and the shimmer shadows. I mean, they have really great mattes too, but I just think, I mean, these colors of the shimmers and the pressed pigments are so beautiful, so unique, and so like bam, that I just die for it. For a lid color, I'm gonna go in with this one here. This is called The Greatest Gift, and it is so beautiful. It is, you'll just have to see it on the lid. It's a lot of different things in one. It is like a pink, peach, purple, and then it has like a green shift to it. I mean, it's beautiful. But I think it's still super wearable, even for being kind of multi-dimensional. And I'm just using my favorite MAC 242 brush. I love when I'm packing like a pressed pigment or like a shimmer shadow on the lid. This is like my go-to brush for that. And I'm just taking another brush. This is the one I grabbed. I can't find the other ones I was using. This one, the Ofra 21, I love, but I'm just putting it down with no additional product and just kind of blending out that lid color. I'm loving this so hard right now that I don't think, I might just leave it. I'm gonna go ahead and put lashes on off camera, and then I'll come back and kind of see how it looks with lashes and see if I want to deepen up the crease a little bit, but I just like it so much. So I'll do that and I'll be back. All right, so I did my lashes and I have on the Salon Perfect 615s. They look like that. The glue is still drying, so you might see it on there. But I forgot to tell you, I did use this Schwing by The Balm. It's just a liquid eyeliner. I use that just to kind of help conceal the lashes, the false lashes. So now we're gonna go ahead and work on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that Ice Mocha color, the one that we used in the crease. And I just cannot, I don't think I'm gonna add any more colors. I know I'm trying to like demo the Sydney Grace colors and I'm only using like a couple of them, but I just love how this looks without anything else. That color, The Greatest Gift, really kind of speaks for itself. So I'm just gonna take a pencil brush and then take the Ice Mocha and just kind of start smoking out my lower lash line a little bit, just to add some dimension. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a long time to put my false lashes on because I'm so out of practice. And then for my lower waterline, I'm gonna use Rococo by Marc Jacobs. This is just a really beautiful kind of dark bronzy color. I'm gonna go ahead and tightline with just a black pencil. This one is Makeup Forever, just to kind of blend everything together. For my lower lash line, I'm going to use this one here, the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara. It comes in this really cool tube, and this is really cool because you can move it. I don't really find that I use that to move it that often, but you can. I just use it straight like that, like a typical mascara, but you can move it. How do you do that? Okay. Move it and then it can like go like that, so you can like get in. The idea is to be able to like move it to have a better angle to get into the areas and hit those smaller lashes so your lash line looks more lush and full. But I just use it regularly. I don't know if I'll be able to stay in frame to do this. And I really like this mascara, especially for the lower lash line. This is not waterproof, but it doesn't seem to really smudge that much. When I do wear it on my upper lashes, it does kind of, you get a little bit of crumble, like speckles falling down throughout the day, but I think it's a great like everyday mascara, and I really have been enjoying that. I use it, it's the one I've been reaching for every day. For a brow bone and inner corner highlight, I'm gonna use this one here. This is called Elegance, and It is just like a super buttery brightening color, so it's perfect for brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. And I'm just taking that on an angled brush, an angled shadow brush like that, and just kind of placing it in there. See how that just really brightens it up? I thought this color, the Elegance, was going to be too dark of a brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight, just because it looks kind of yellowy, you know? But I changed my mind when I saw them post on Instagram, Sydney Grace. They posted on Instagram and was like, this is the perfect, you know, highlight, inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. And I'm like, okay, I need to order that. So they did send me a really nice care package full of eyeshadows, and I was so greedy that I had to have more, so I did place an order. So some of them they did send and some of them I did purchase myself. For bronzer, I'm going to use my Becca Bali Sand Sunlit Bronzer. Looks like that. I'm just going to take it on this angled, I think this is a blush or a large angled contour brush, and I'm just going to bronze up my face, and I will zoom you out so you guys can see my full face. Just gives the most beautiful sun-kissed. Like the Sunlit name is so perfect because it just does give you like a sun-kissed look. And I've been trying to use less bronzer because I will use it sometimes and then it will look fine here, but then I'll like look in my bathroom mirror or another mirror in the house and I'll be like, oh my god, I put too much bronzer on. So I'm trying to go light-handed, but it's kind of hard because I just get carried away. For blush, I'm going to be using this Buxom Wonderlust Primer Infused Blush in the color called Seychelles. I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't know how to say it. So we're just using this color. Taking it on my Ofra 22 brush, which I love for blush because it just gives like a soft, very soft wash of it, and I don't really want anything too heavy. And I'm gonna just take it up a little bit higher than I would usually, almost up there on my cheekbone. Just kind of blend it in. See how beautiful that color is, that Seychelles? That's how you say it. For a highlighter, I'm using the Wet n Wild one in the color called Blossom Glow. It looks like that. I'm gonna use it on this It Cosmetic brush, the one that comes in that trio pack that I was talking about. So I'm just gonna grab that product, put that on the cheekbones. And these highlighters, if you have not tried them, are amazing, and they're $5. Do yourself a favor and pick one up. I think this is my favorite shade of the Wet n Wild just because it's most flattering on my skin tone. It's like a champagne-y pink color. This brush would be really good for setting under the eye as well, just like rolling that product under there. It's very soft. For lips, I'm using MAC lip liner in Boldly Bare, and I'm just gonna outline and fill in my entire lip area with that. And then I really wanted to use MAC lipstick in Peach Blossom, but it's downstairs in my purse, so I'm not gonna go and get it. I'm gonna try and see how this one looks. This is the Powder Kiss lipstick in Influentially It. I really wanted like a peachy, neutral, kind of light lip color, so I think this will do it. I really love the formula on these Powder Kiss lipsticks. It almost feels like a balm, like a lip balm, but it obviously has color payoff. So yeah, that is the finished look. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me take my hair down here. I love how this look turned out, especially the eyes. That eye color, the eyeshadow in The Greatest Gift is so beautiful, so neutral, but so interesting as well, so unique. So here is a close-up of the look. And I'm not gonna lie, I love these lashes. They definitely help my sadness about not having my false or my eyelash extensions anymore because they're still like boom. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch and to get ready with me. Let me know what products you're loving lately in your routine to get ready, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.